Hey ho people, welcome to Stylosa's Super Steam Daily Deals Guide, and it's the 23rd of December. First up we've got Dirt 3. Now Dirt 3 is a racing game, and if you've been listening to or you've been watching rather, the other gaming deal highlights I've been doing over the past few days, you will know that I do not play racing games, so I'm not exactly the authority on that. I have never played Dirt 3, but what I can tell you is it's developed by Codemasters, and it's got a fairly nice graphics engine, so it does look nice. But that's all I know. Apart from it's 66% off and it's £10.19, which is a bit of a strange price, down from £29.99. Next up we've got Saints Row the Third. Now Saints Row the Third is just totally stupid, crazy, mental, over the top. It's Grand Theft Auto 3, but without a serious storyline and loads of absolutely retarded crap stuffed into it. You can smash people in the face with a 10-foot dildo. In fact, I think that's the first weapon. It's like a baseball bat. Maybe it's not 10 foot, it may as well be, it just looks retarded. Why is that even in the game? We just don't know. It's massively childish, it's stupid, it's over the top. I think the first weapon in the game you get, or one of the first weapons, is a Predator drone strike in the middle of a city. You can just call down a Predator drone to drop bloody missiles, Hellfire missiles all over the area. It's totally crazy. But it's a sandbox world, GTA style mental game. And that's 33% off. That's £20.09. Again, another bit of a crazy price. That's down from £29.99. The next thing we've got is Audio Surf. Now, Audio Surf has been on Steam for years and years and years and years. Yet it's not in my Steam account. I've seen Kirioff playing this, and he used to play this quite a lot. I think it's one of them things you can just play on the side. You know, if you're a bit bored, you know, I'll just break out Audio Surf. As far as I'm aware, you load your MP3s into the game and you basically race. It's sort of like a Guitar Hero, but you're a spaceship and you're racing your own music. And the only way it's kind of like Guitar Hero is the fact that you're racing. You have to like dodge. Well, it kind of isn't like Guitar. Well, it's not, is it? I'm just talking crap. You have to dodge the blocks, I think. Whatever. I've never played it, but it's £1.49. It's a Steam classic, so I guess based off that alone, it should be bought. Now next up we've got Aliens vs Predator. Now do not buy this game, it's terrible. I bought Alien vs Predator and then I sent it back because I was so disgusted with it. It was just terrible. It was absolutely terrible. The multiplayer component of the game was rancid. The Predator was so overpowered it was laughable. Now this may have changed, but this has completely stained my opinion on the game. And the single player was terrible as well. So you got the Predator, you go invisible obviously. And he's got the shoulder cannon, and he's got he's got like a spear, and he's got his claw on his arm. You know, all the Predator crap. The alien could run up and down the walls and move quite fast, and see other aliens, I think. And I think it could see the Predator when it was invisible. But if the alien got into a fight with the Predator would kill it in close combat, like with one hit, and it was totally gash. And another thing it'd do was put you into like a cutscene, not a cutscene. Oh, what's the word? I can't think. But it puts you into like an animation, like as soon as you do like a melee kill or something. So you're there picking up the alien's head, you know, ripping out its spine with your Predator going Wah! And all that shit. Well, of course, what's the Marine doing as he's watching you do this? Well, he's just railing you aiming with his pulse rifle, and then you're dead. That was totally shit. The Marine was the worst one of the lot because he was so slow. He had the motion sensor, that was okay. But it didn't really help you when an alien just went running all over the wall and murdered you dead. So the aliens would totally kill the Marines, and the Predator would just kill the Marines and the aliens. It was just gash. Now, it was kind of a bit of a letdown to me because the other Aliens games were so good, the older ones, but this was just terrible. Do not buy it. It's £2.99. Quite frankly, they should be paying you £2.99 to download the game. It's 80% off, but as I say, do not buy that. It's terrible. Then we've got a rather strange game. This is Train Simulator 2012. I do not understand why people train spot. I do not understand why people would want to play a game which simulates you driving a train. I do not understand why people would want to play. There's another load of dodgy games like this. There's Farming Simulator. Why would you want that? Why would you want to do? You know, why would you want to drive a combine harvester around the field? Why would you want to simulate driving a train? I do not understand this game. If you're some kind of train nutter, and you absolutely have to drive the latest locomotive from Billy Bob's Train Yard Incorporated, then by all means go and get it. It's 90% off. It's £2.49. And any mathematicians out there well, 90% off, and the price is £2.49. Surely then it must be £24.99 full price. So yeah, I'm not going to say if that's ranted or you should buy that, because I simply do not understand it and never will. Next up, we've got E.Y.E Divine Cybermancy. Now this is a strange game. It's a Source mod, but it's standalone. But it's just strange. It's like an RPG, an FPS RPG. It's kind of like Deus Ex, the same type of cyberpunky atmosphere on the go. But that's kind of where the similarities end, apart from it's an FPS. It's very complex, and when we did I think we actually did an Is It Pure on it, me and Kirioff did, or well, we played it. I do remember filming stuff for the channel. I've not played it since, and I guess that tells us tale unto itself, good lord, that, you know, if we've only played it once and never bothered coming back, it's not really all that mind-blowing. It is £1.24. That's 70% off, 75% off even, from £4.99. So again, I guess if you're looking for some kind of like a strange, it feels really low budget, like really low budget when we were playing it, FPS role-playing game, then yeah, by all means go for it. But again, I'm not going to give a definitive answer on that, because it's either, if you're, well, I don't know, to be honest, I don't know. I'd have to err on the side of saying no, it's not really worth getting, because I don't, unless there's been major changes to the game. But when we played it, it never really wanted, you know, I never really wanted to go back to it. And yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, but yeah, they're my crazy thoughts on E.Y.E Divine Cybermancy. Now, the next one we've got is From Dust. I never played this because it had the massive fiasco with the UBI anti-bloody pirate crap, which is the worst thing known to man. Also, it didn't support 1080p. Now, it may support these things now, but if a game doesn't have the decency to launch with them options, you know, even 1080p is a basic option in 2011, then quite frankly, I don't have time for it. The next thing we've got is Cities XL 2012. Now, I have a friend who's played Cities XL 2012, and he was not very happy with Cities XL 2012, because in fact it was Cities XL 2011, simply with a new logo. As far as he was concerned, the game was completely identical to the previous one, and it was just gash. It was I think it was stupidly inefficient, like it would lag out like God knows what as soon as your city started to get to any kind of size. All round, it was a terrible game. So if you think that's something like SimCity and you're having some kind of nostalgia trip where you're like, oh yes, SimCity, but with funky, you know, modern graphics, it's not. It's terrible and it's crap. And that's from the direct words from a member of the Unit Lost community. As I say, I've not played it myself, but I do trust what he says, and so should you. Next, we've got Back to the Future, the game. I know nothing about this, but it's 60% off. It's £6.79. If you like Back to the Future, then why not buy it? Okay, next up we've got Cave Story, which is £3.49, which is an indie platformer. It looks nice and cute. You're a little lad with a baseball cap on. Why not drop £3.49 on it? It's 50% off, down from £6.99. 99. I'm starting to sound like a crap radio DJ. Now we've got an interesting one, a very interesting one. This is Rage. Now, Rage had loads of problems when it launched. It had all the absolute farce that was the mega textures that weren't loading in, or the textures were popping everywhere, and it was terrible. The game itself was not very good, and I'd have to say it's probably the biggest failure E.Y.E have ever had. It was just crap, rancid, poor, not really worth anything, but it's 50% off. Could this tempt you? $14.99? I don't know. I'd have to say no. I would say no, do not buy Rage. It's not worth that. It doesn't look all that impressive, and it's just bland. And the way the weapons handle as well is quite bad. I can remember lining up perfect headshots, shooting like the mutants in the head, and it just did nothing. You know, like, they just bounced off their head. It was like, oh right, shoot them a couple more times. Not very good. The next thing we've got is Frozen Synapse. This is £2.24. Now, Frozen Synapse was available in some of the indie bundles going, so you could have actually got it for cheaper if you were cleverer. However, for £2.24, it's a tactical multiplayer game where you can play it multiplayer, where you think out your moves and then you obviously play through your moves and hopefully try and kill the enemy agent by outsmarting them. I haven't played it, but from what I have seen, it does look kind of interesting, and I would say for £2.24 I would pick that up and see what that's all about, because it does intrigue me. And finally, that's it. That's the end of the deals. I've been Stylosa from unitloss.com, and I'll catch you next time, people. Hulu!